I know everyone's waiting the moment of truth on how well images are going to be with our awesome Z8. So we're going to be doing a self-portrait, and this is just something I felt after my recovery and a part of mental health that should be shared. So with this setup, it's going to be simple because again, I am limited because of my leg. I'm not going to be using my handy dandy strip box. I don't want to because these go kind of head to toe, full length. I'm going to be using, which I haven't used in a long time, they're all my favorites. Any type is my favorite. It's a personal preference on what you want to do. It's the good old Octabox. Because, like I said, it's going to be just a single light, emotional, from the heart, from what I felt, what needs to be seen, what needs to be heard, mental health. Like I said, this is going to be a single light setup. I don't want soft all over light. So what can we do to control our light? You put your grid on, because using your grids gives you more direction and you can control it, and it gives it that more dramatic look. And when you're creating with controlled studio lighting, guess what? Taking this off, taking that piece off, that creates hard light. The diffusion panel, that diffusion panel creates soft light. So we are going for a soft light, so we're keeping the diffusion panel on with the grid to control our light. There you go. Easy peasy. There's your grid. And y'all know me and how much I love using gels. What are gels? Well, they're these pieces of heat resistant covers that you can put over your light and create an effect. And when you have a plethora of them, yes, I went and bought a plethora and made a book, and I have labeled red, yellow, the whole rainbow of my color gels with the color wheel. And I do recommend Jay Kicks. I've talked about him before, and his color gel packets, because they do come in a great variety. And yes, to each their own, but I do love gels because they just make the picture sometimes just feel, and you can create depth, texture, and just overall everything. But it's a personal choice, it's up to you. Like I said, I love my gels, I love my colors. Colors are everything. Put that away. So in our shot, we're going to be using blue, teal, and green. Why did I choose these colors? Well, green represents mental health. Blue represents sadness and just emotions I felt. And teal is kind of a combination of all three colors, or all two colors. So we're gonna go with green first. How do we attach it? Flip your light around. Don't knock your light over. I'm just getting some painter's tape. Won't ruin the gel. I know you can't see, but it's kind of, you're limited to what you can do inside there. So you have to take your gel and kind of create a dome over the bulb. Try not to get it on the bulb because sometimes these can melt. So just make sure, even if you get the high heat ones or the really cheap ones, they can melt. I've done that, and then if they melt, guess what happens? It can ruin your light. I've done that before. Don't. So we're just gonna take a minute and fandangle this in there. It's in there. The thing about gels, don't be intimidated by them. Just be careful and be smart about it. Also, find a way that works best for you and how you place them, because everybody has their own unique tips and tricks on how to place their gels. Just find what works for you. Seriously, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Just keep it simple. It really is about keeping it simple and just finding solutions that work best for you. So then now that we have it all situated without your camera, turn your light on. Give it a test. See? You can see the grain. There's your green. So now I'm gonna raise this up as high as I want it, and then I'm gonna take this part and so it's gonna be up, and then it's going to be pointed down towards me. I'm going to be under this light. That's the setup. That's all I'm doing. One light, one chair, what I'm going to be wearing, and then I'm going to add a few details. So let me go change. We'll talk about what's next. Like I said, this is what I felt the day of my surgery. This is what I wore the day of my surgery. This is what I came home with. So it's going to be a little bit of before and a little bit of after. Just emotions, feeling, and everything else. To hook all this up, I did have to go in and change some things. We'll go over that a little bit later. This is just a test to show y'all. Sweet.